So the topic given to me is yoga and diet for lactating mothers. So this has been a thing to discuss always, like what is... Pardon, can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So
It's not visible.
pardon? Can you hear me? Dr. Surabhi, can you hear me?
Not clear.
Sound is not clear? Surabhi, can you hear me?
We can hear you, ma'am.
Okay. Can I continue?
Yes, ma'am, you can continue.
Okay. Thank you. So we are talking about lactating mother. So who is a lactating mother? So it can be primipara or multipara, whoever it is after the delivery. If the mother is breastfeeding the kid, so starting from the day one, if the mother is continuing the breastfeeding till 3 years of the age of the kid, throughout the time, the kid or the mother is called as a lactating mother. Though the requirement from 1 to 6 months and 6 months plus is varied, still the requirements is almost, there are many things common about it. So what is lactating mother facing? That is what first we should know before coming to the proper understanding of diet and yoga. So lactating mother means they are having this postpartal depression, the postpartal difficulties. The lactating mother will have sleepless nights. They have the disturbance with the hormones, disturbing their sleep again. Again, there will be pressure and the work of the newborn infant along with the home course, whatever they have to take care of the kitchen, they have to take care of the elder kids if they have. Please put off the, mute the system. I'm not able to take the class when there is some hindrance. I request this. So there will be a lot of disturbances in a lactating mother. So especially the postpartum depression and the needs of the family. So altogether, it is a challenging moment for lactating mother. So then, especially if the women are from a financially low background, then they will not be able to take care of their nutrition, and not only the mother, even the infant also will be suffering from the nutritional requirements. So that is the problem usually faced by lactating mother. So women's health is bound to the social, cultural, and economic factor very much, because the society will have a lot of things to tell to the new mother, like what to be done and what not to be done. The cultural side also, they will have a lot of requirements. So economic side also, only certain things can be afforded by the mother or the family. So many factors are dependent on this thing. So let us go to the science of this, where and how the milk production is dealt with. Okay, so we all know, so it is a work of the hormones. So let's see how the hormones work on this. So it all starts from the infant. So if there is a proper suckling of the milk by the infant, then the hypothalamus in the brain is being activated, and the hypothalamus, we all know that hypothalamus stimulates the pituitary gland. From the pituitary gland, there is two parts to pituitary gland. One is the anterior pituitary, and then next is the posterior pituitary. The anterior pituitary releases the milk, And the posterior pituitary, again, it has two functions. One is posterior pituitary is the one which secretes oxytocin. So oxytocin mainly acts on the musculature. That means first thing is it contracts the uterine muscles back to its normal after the delivery. It also helps, oxytocin helps for the delivery as such, to push out the baby. Then oxytocin also acts on the muscles of the alveolar duct. That is how the alveolar duct is being given a push, and that's how the milk is being produced. That is the way how the release of milk is happening through the posterior pituitary with the help of oxytocin. So prolactin, anyway, anterior pituitary, which secretes prolactin, is directly responsible for the release of milk. So this is how hormones play an important role in producing the milk. So factors affecting the composition. So we all happen to hear from the family, the elders in the family keeps telling about the quality and quantity of milk. So usually the lactating mothers happen to hear this, like the quantity of the milk is less. If you eat that, certain quality of the milk is going to be reduced. So much of discussion goes on in this topic. So some of the points we should know about factors that is affecting the composition. That is, the fat and energy concentration in the milk are related to maternal fat stores. If the mother is having a good store of the fat, then enough of fat, especially the energy, is got from carbohydrate and the fat. So the energy concentration in the milk is got from the fat stores of mother. Then primipare and multipare. So primipare is having, naturally, if the lady is having her first child, the higher concentration of fat will be there. So if the mother is already had 3 to 4 kids, naturally again the fat content in the milk will be in the lower side. Another thing is the volume of the milk, that is directly proportional to the release of the milk. If the mother had fed the baby with multiple times and given a lot of milk to the baby, the more it is secreted. So sucking stimulates the release of hormones that stimulates the milk production. That's how it is. Then undernourished mother produces less quantity. This is a biggest point here, a very important point here. The undernourished, if the mother is not nourished properly, the quantity of the milk is becoming less, not the quality of the milk to a certain extent. So usually we understand the other way. We understand that if you are not fed well, the mother is not fed well, the quality of the milk is reduced. Of course, the quality to a certain extent, maybe few things are reduced. I'll eventually tell you what are the things which is reduced as quality. But most probably the thing which is getting reduced is the quantity of the milk. So what is independent of mother's diet and what is dependent on the mother's diet? You can see here, lactose, protein, calcium, iron, copper, and fluorine content of the milk is independent of mother's diet. These are being taken from the mother's side. So it is independent. It is not directly taken from the mother's diet to the milk. So it is taken from the mother as such. Selenium, iodine, and vitamin B content of the milk is dependent on mother's diet. So from that diet directly it goes to the milk. So lactational capacity is a function of genetic heritage. That means if a mother, new mother, is not able to produce milk, it has a great the dependence on the genetics. So maybe the genetic heritage, maybe mother, grandmothers, or aunts, they are having a heritage of having less of lactational capacity. So physical activity of the mother is influencing the milk production. The maternal and infant illness, again if the baby is ill, again the baby will not be able to suckle the milk and the milk production can be low. If the mother is sick, again the production of the milk is again low. So these are the factors which is affecting the milk secretion. Milk production may also be affected by inadequate fluid intake. Again, it is a very important point. Enough of fluid intake. Hydration is very much required for a lactating mother. Strong flavored foods consumed by mother can impart unusual flavor to the milk, like lashuna, that is garlic and onions, certain things which are very flavorful can impart the same flavor to the milk. So that can be not liked also by the infant. So they can disregard that milk. So failure to thrive, again, breastfed with where is the failures? So maternal causes, any disturbances, physical or mental disturbances caused for the mother can have a reduction in let out. That is reduction in milk. So stress, anxiety, hypertension, hyperthyroidism, antihistamine use, those medicines which are used for allergies can bring down the milk production. Alveolar tissue development, if there is a problem in the alveolar breast tissue development, then it can cause difficulty in milk production. Of course, caffeine is not a good thing to take. It will reduce the milk production. Illness, if any sort of illness, if the mother is sick with certain things, if the poor diet is there, or overall the energy of the mother is also depleted because of that, and that can also bring failures to this breastfeeding. Then if there is a retained placental fragment there in the body, that can hinder the breastfeeding. Then fatigue can also cause poor production. What are the infant causes? If the infant is having, again, the diseases or any sort of problems like congenital heart diseases or central nervous system problems, if the gestational age comparatively it is lesser, and malabsorption is there, vomiting or diarrhea is there for the infant, in such cases also there is difficulty to get the milk suckled. So let us go on to the topic, that is yoga. We can enhance the milk production through yoga as well as through the diet. Both are possible. So what are the conditions where we can use yoga? This is what we will try to know here. So we have asana, pranayama, meditation. These are some of the tools of yoga. Through asanas we can enhance, through pranayama we can enhance, and through meditation we can enhance. So what are the asanas which we can give? So how do you decide upon the asanas? We have n number of asanas, and how do you decide upon asanas? We have to know this. So those asanas which can enhance the blood flow towards the pituitary gland, or the activities towards the pituitary gland, or those asanas which can enhance a good flow of blood towards the alveoli, these can give a good effect on lactation. So this is the main point for asana. So if it is when you're coming to pranayama, pranayama deals with mostly the three doshas. So that is why we can go with the dosha whichever is prevailing for the mother, and accordingly we can be giving pranayama. In case of meditation, if the mother had already having a knowing meditation, that is, if the mother before the pregnancy itself, if the mother know how to meditate, then it is easy. Otherwise, starting a meditation just after a delivery would be very difficult. So in case of asanas, so we can start asana maybe a month after the delivery if it is in normal delivery, and if it is a C-section, we can start the asanas after 3 months of the delivery. So that would be a good time to start. Pranayama and meditation, the day 1 after the delivery, you can start with. So what are the asanas possibly we can do? So these pictures are taken from the Google. So it is not the pictures from my side. So Tadasana, Ardha Chakrasana. In Tadasana, you can see the energy flow is totally from head to toe is there. So pituitary gland as well as the alveoli side is being made better. Ardha Chakrasana, Pada Hastasana, again the dependent part is you can get the more blood supply. Trikonasana also you can find that alveoli side is getting the dependent part. That's why again the blood flow is better there. Bhadrasana generally Bhadrasana is given for all the reproductive health. So it does the reproductive health better. So that is why Bhadrasana is given here. So it activates both estrogen and progesterone. That is why. So estrogen and progesterone, again, that particular hormone makes the alveoli ready. It enhances the structure and this of alveoli better. That is why progesterone and estrogen is an important hormone too in lactating mothers. So usually by the end of the pregnancy, they are ready with it. So that is how they get the alveoli ducts also open by the end of the pregnancy, and as soon as the delivery is done, they are ready for lactating. Marjarasana again does good for the alveoli duct and also for the pituitary gland, both for posterior and anterior pituitary. So Ardha Ushtrasana, Shashankasana. So these are the common asanas which we give to a lactating mother. In these postures, asana postures, we can also find that all these postures are easy ones. It is not difficult. So it will neither disturb the C-section wounds or the episiotomy wounds. So this is not going to disturb it anyway. So same time in this Ardha Shalabhasana, we are looking for the contraction of uterus. So the uterus can be taken back to its place to the pelvic girdle. So with Ardha Shalabhasana. So let us move on to pranayama. Pranayama, as I have said, we can select pranayama according to the Budosha vitiations. So if we feel that estrogen has to be enhanced, you can go for Chandranuloma pranayama because it is an Ida nadi. Suryanuloma pranayama, the progesterone can be made better. If you have any pains after the delivery, Suryanuloma will do good. Pain killing action is there for Suryanuloma. If you have had any infections due to over accumulation of breast milk, that can be treated by Suryanuloma because it is anti-infectious, it is pain relieving. Anuloma Viloma will give you a lot of balance between the hormones. The hormonal fluctuations are found in this particular time. So a lot of mood variations, lot of fluctuations in the mood as well as the hormones are found during this time. Anuloma Viloma can help to maintain the mood of lactating mother. Ujjayi, if there is a kapha vitiation, Ujjayi can be given. Bhastrika, Tridoshahara. So anything, if you can't find out the problem beneath, so you can give Bhastrika because this is Tridoshahara. Bhastrika can also help to keep the abdomen intact. So there might be stomach, you can feel that the stomach is like too much. Even after the delivery, you feel that stomach has not gone down, abdomen has not gone. Bhastrika can help you a lot with it. So Shitali and Shitakari, there may be digestive problems. Same time, the hunger and thirst may not be under control. Few of the mothers might have lot of hunger. The hunger might be increased. Some people will not have appetite at all. So in such cases, Shitali and Shitakari can help you to regulate the appetite. Then Brahmari, of course, Brahmari can be given for the depression cases. Postpartum depression can be well managed by Brahmari. The stress around with the newcomer, when the infant is home, it is a newcomer. It is an additional responsibility of the mother. So that additional responsibility can cause a lot of tension that can be managed by Brahmari. Let's move on to diet and nutrition. So what should be the food for a new mother? So we have a lot of things which has been discussed under this. So according to the text, what goes here, let us see. Nutritional recommendations. How should be the nutritional recommendations? Mother's own daily needs should be met first. So when a lactating mother is there, everyone's concentration is on the infants. So more than the infants, first the mother's health should be met first. So what is mother's own daily needs should be met with? Please mute the system. I'm not able to take the class. Providing enough nutrients in milk for the growth of the infant. Infant is getting the milk, but we should ensure that the milk is having enough of nutrients for the growth of the infant. So it is not just the quantity of the milk. We all know about the quantity of the milk because the infant is being fed every 2 hours. So we, like, all the mothers are very happy that baby is getting the milk every 2 hours, but it is not so. The quality of the milk should be made better. So give the energy for the mechanics of milk production. That is not usually given concentration on. So we are not giving the effort to know whether the milk production is proper or not. So the nutrition should be such a way that the milk production should be enhanced. The nutrients of the milk should be enhanced. Same time, the mother's needs also should be met. So while feeding the baby, the mother's health should not be going down. That is also very important. So these are the these are the nutrient requirements. So what you can find here is energy, the carbohydrates, whatever you can see here is the carbohydrate need for a common woman, like normal woman. 1660 is in average is a need for a normal woman, and plus 600 will go for a lactating woman. So that is like 1660 plus 600 kilocalories of carbohydrate requirement is there for a lactating woman. So what can be the carbohydrate supply? It can be sugar, jaggery, sugar cane, raw rice, wheat flour, tamarind pulp. These are all the good source of carbohydrates for an Indian diet. This is for an Indian diet. So these are good for increasing the energy content or the carbohydrate content or the sugar content in the body. For a lactating woman, it is a 600 kilocalories plus what we should be giving to a lactating mother. Then we have proteins. We all know proteins is a building block. So proteins are very much important because the baby needs to build its body. That is why proteins are very much important for the baby. So if the proteins, 46 grams of proteins generally a lady needs, plus 17 grams should be had to keep up the requirement. So as we all know, milk and egg is a complete food. So almost every nutrients will be there available according to the requirements, according to the ratio. It will be there in milk and egg. So milk and egg should not be kept aside. So then meat, fish, rice, usually proteins, the 100% proteins are there in the non-vegetarian foods. So if the mother is vegetarian, then we have options like wheat, maize, Bengal gum, red gram. So these are some of them. Okay, groundnut, gingerly seeds. It's a very important thing. Gingerly seeds, even if you are able to take in a very small amount, also it gives a lot of proteins. Then we know calcium. So why calcium is important? One thing is like the baby is growing, and when the baby is growing, the bones has to grow, the muscle has to grow. For both muscle and the bones, the calcium is required. Same time, the mother is also if the baby is having a lot of milk, the mother is also getting depleted with calcium. So both for mother and the baby, the calcium requirement is high. So already the calcium requirement is 1000 mg. So for a lactating mother, it will go to 1200 mg. So we all know calcium requirements can be got with milk, curd, paneer, koa. Again, gingerly seeds, drumstick leaves is a very good galactagogue also. Amaranth leaves, many chira sort of many leafy vegetables give you a lot of calcium. Ragi is a good source. Ragi has both iron and calcium in it. Quinoa is there. Curry leaves. So we often forget about curry leaves. Include curry leaves maximum for a lactating mother. It has many good nutrients in it. So magnesium, we have a lot of plant sources. Almost all the plant sources has magnesium in it. Legumes, cereals, everything has magnesium in it. Iron supplements. So 23 mg of extra iron should be had by the mother. Again, the gingerly seed, black gingerly seed is preferable, not the white or the even brown is fine, but not the white. White has comparatively less of these nutrients. Then amaranth, tamarind pulp, horsegram, curry leaves, mint leaves, raisins. Brown raisins is a good option. Coriander leaves. Then we know zinc is important. 14 mg extra zinc should be had. So zinc is usually present in cashew nuts, gingerly seed, sunflower seed, soya bean, almonds, and almonds is a good source. So almonds might be little, costly. So we can use gingerly instead of that. Iodine. Usually people thinking that rock salt is a good healthy thing, people go and stick with rock salt because they feel, Saindhav lavana or rock salt or some crystal salt is good, but they lack iodine. Otherwise, iodine is not got from other foods. It is very, in a very small amount only get iodine from the normal foods. That is why iodized salt should be had by the pregnant woman and the lactating mother. It is very important. So milk, meat, egg, marine fish, especially marine fish, shellfish, sorghum millet, black gram, mustard, these all have a small percentage of iron in it. But we have to depend on the iodized salt. Vitamin A, vitamin D, these vitamins, both fat soluble vitamins are required. Vitamin A 950 μg, it's not UG, it is μg, and vitamin D again 600 mg. Egg, milk, paneer, chicken, salmon, tuna, orange vegetables, all the orange colored vegetables and fruits can give you vitamin A. Green leafy vegetables can provide you enough source of vitamin A. Curry leaf again carrot is a orange color. Vitamin D, anyway, sunlight will give. New mothers make sure that they bask in sun at least 10 minutes in the morning and 10 minutes in the evening. Even the newborn kid can be exposed to the sunlight in the morning for 10 minutes and evening 4 o'clock for 10 minutes. This can give a lot of health. Vitamin D. Even the calcium vitamin D combination works only with sunlight. Folate 330 plus μg is required. Soya bean, sheep liver, black gingerly seeds, curry leaves, mint leaves. You can go through in this from this slide. So because all these things I need not read, you can get through the Google also. What are the rich sources of vitamin C, folate, and all that. Vitamin C, amla, guava are good source. Orange, lemon juice, any citrus fruits, lychee, mango, papaya, drumstick, pomegranate are the good sources of vitamin C, and plus 50 mg should be had. So what are the dietary guidelines? So nutritional requirements are maximum during lactation. We all know we need to feed 2 people. So nutritional requirements are maximum during lactation. Number of meals and quantity of meals should be increased. Frequency should be increased. Instead of having double the amount quantity at a time, increase the frequencies, like in between, like instead of big lunch and big breakfast, what you can do is have a breakfast, and in between at 11 o'clock you can have one more meal, and in such a way you can increase the frequency of the food. Food should have whole grain. It should be whole. So the grains, carbohydrates, fats, micronutrients, macronutrients, everything should be included in the food. So you can take the diet, like make a diet for 1 week, and in that week you should have all these things, like vegetables should be there, fruits should be there, non-vegetarian foods should be there. For otherwise, if it is vegetarian people, you can opt instead of non-vegetarian, whatever proteins you can add up, you should add up. Fluid requirement. Dehydration is the most common problem which a lactating mother faces. So as the milk is a fluid, the fluid is being depleted in the body. So fluid requirement is lots. So you have to replenish yourself with juice and water and all that to prevent osteoporosis. Is very common because a lot of calcium is being put out through the milk. So at least half to 1 liter of milk should be had per day by the mother. At least half liter. That's the minimum amount. So up to 1 liter of milk can be had by the mother according to the baby's intake. If the baby is having enough of milk, having now and then 1 liter of milk will be required. No food need to be withheld from the mother, because there is a lot of people giving you a lot of advices that is not good for the lactating mother, this is not good for the lactating mother. You don't have to withhold yourself with any food. You don't have to restrict any food unless and until if the infant is having any problem, any allergies or any disturbances with certain foods. So common foods what we can see which is irritating the infant is tomatoes, onions, chocolates, spices, sometimes potatoes, that is little flatulating, loose stools can happen. So all this is possible. In such cases, certain foods should be found out. What is causing disturbance should be found out first, and that should be avoided. So otherwise, nothing is bad for a new mother. So supplements of vitamin C, folic acid, B12, calcium, and iron can be taken as required. So supplements is possible. So if your food is not meeting the requirements, then you can have supplements of vitamin C, because anyway, if in C sections, vitamin C will be good. So it will help for healing. Again, folic acid, for iron absorption, folic acid is required. B12, again, iron absorption, B12 is required. Calcium, iron, everything can be taken as supplements also for the first 6 months, because the need for breastfeeding is more in the first 6 months, because baby is just on mother's milk in the first 6 months. As I have said, get hydrated. These are the important points. Get hydrated. You can have juice, you can have soups, you can have water. So anything, you can have milk, anything you can have, but you can better to avoid the caffeine, cola, chocolate drinks, such things can be avoided. DHA, what you all know, is docosahexaenic acid. It's an omega-3 fatty acid usually found in salmon, oysters, such prawns, such fishes. It's more available. DHA is more available, but for vegetarians, it is also available in spirulina type of algae, seaweeds and all that. This DHA is a very important thing for a baby's brain development, and also partly for the visual development. Mainly, it is the mental development of the baby. So DHA should be available, made available for the mother. Some things should be known, like high sugar, because later on this sugar is turning to be the fat deposits. So sugar can be controlled. Too much of sugar is not required. Then cut down on high fat. Lot of like certain cultural entities, we can find that they feed the new mother with lot of fat, ghee and butter and all that. So you don't need so much of high fat, because later on reducing the fat would be difficult. So potato crisp, chocolates, cakes, such things can be avoided. Alcohol, smoking should be avoided. Dieting. So first 6 months, even if you have put on weight, don't put any efforts to reducing on certain foods and getting yourself lean. So please don't do that. So first 6 months, eat whatever you want, do well with nutrition, so that the milk is having a good nutrients sufficiency in this. So no dieting. So galactogogues, as I have said, galactogogues, certain times we feel that the milk production is very low. So galactogogues are those foods which will impact the prolactin hormone. So certain things like methi, jeera, then what we call tamarind leaves, green leafy vegetables, bajra, shunthi, that is dry ginger. So all the ajwain, fennel seeds, garlic, all these can keep away the extra pains, colics and all after the delivery. So it is also acting as galactogogues. So galactogogues are very important for those people who feel that the milk production is comparatively, either the milk let down or the milk production. So we have lactogogues as well as galactogogues. So lactogogues are usually those that which help to produce milk. Galactogogues have an impact on the prolactin hormones. So this is about it. So conclusion, breastfeeding is always the nature's gift for growing strong. There is nothing which can be compared to the maternal milk, breast milk. Nothing, no food can be, as good as the maternal milk. So give lot of importance for breastfeeding. Thank you. So the session is open for discussion, question and answers, if any.
Ma'am, is it necessary that the mother should feed the baby for 3 years?
Not required. But the more you can feed, the better for the baby. But the problem is, after a year, the baby starts to have it as like, it becomes a habit. And it is very difficult to take away, that habit. It will be a little difficult to wean after a year. But if you can take that challenge, that you can wean after 3 years, after very after the habits are very much formed, if you are able to wean, it would be good if you can continue till 3 years. All fruits can be had, no problem. You can have any fruits. That's what you don't have to withhold anything. Like you don't have to stop yourself from having certain things. Anything and everything can be had until and unless it doesn't disturb you and the baby. That's all. So it is not that you should not have, but certain things, as I have said, like very spicy, very salty, sour, like that, which will irritate your gut, that can be avoided. See, about non-veg food, if you have a good digestive system, then of course you can have maybe after 2 weeks. So according to the science, digestive system is being hampered after the delivery. So that is why in Ayurveda we give at least 28 days. We give the patient Aristam, Kashayam, and all that. All those are given especially to enhance the digestion. So if you are having non-vegetarian, very fat-rich food during, then it is, it will put you in indigestion. That's all. So better you can start after a month or so. That would be best. Vegetarian sources of DHA, that's what I said, weeds, seaweeds, algae, spirulina, all such things are usually the best sources. We have, certain amaranth leaves and all has very small content, small amount of DHA in it. But if you're able to take spirulina, that would be a good source. Okay, some medicine for weaning, That is all like what you say, at what age you're trying for it. If sometimes what happens, the baby may not eat the other foods. There are certain cases like that, baby is not ready to eat the other foods. Like if you are trying to put the baby on ragi or wheat or fruits, or they are not, certain babies are not ready to start with the solids. That time, like, we don't, you can't supplement with no, you have to go for mother's milk itself. So how to do it? So some, either you can give the baby to someone else at night, especially night is the problem usually. So you can pass on the baby to fathers, or you can pass on the babies to grandparents, and you can keep yourself away from the baby, not always keeping keeping yourself with the baby. That can be a choice. Otherwise, what you can do is, in the worst cases, what I will advise is, you can apply neem oil, which is like very kadvi, very bitter in taste, very bad to smell. All that can be applied and can keep away the babies from having the breast milk. So that is the only thing usually which is becoming possible. Is it natural for the baby to gain weight or lose weight during the first 3 months, or is it a matter of concern if the baby has lost weight? Usually, baby doesn't lose weight. Usually baby gains. So first 6 months, though, that is that if the baby is losing weight, that means the baby is not having sufficient milk. Quality, no, quantity wise I'm saying, not quality wise. Quantity wise, maybe the baby, sometimes what happens, there are babies who sleeps the whole, like all full time the baby is sleeping, and baby fails to drink milk. So once in 2 hours, at least once in 2 hours or once in 3 hours, for sure the baby should have milk. So if that is not got, naturally the baby might lose weight. Usually it doesn't happen. So otherwise, you may have to check in all the systems of the baby, like heart diseases, you have to rule out, the liver problems, all that can be ruled out. Usually the breastfed babies doesn't go, lose the weights usually. If the milk production is very, very low, so which milk as top feed is good for baby? That means if you want to, I think, Pooja, you want to know what is the supplement other than the mother's milk, what can be given. So probably if you are sure that the cow milk is like, you get a good cow milk in your area, then cow milk it can be given. But after 6 months, probably after 6 months or 4 months is better, because digesting a cow milk is also not easy, and it has to be diluted with enough quantity of water and then given. Otherwise, formulas can be given. Formulas are safe. Best is formulas, because they are done well, and that is applicable. Is there a specific diet in case of breast abscess? Breast abscess, we have a lot of Ayurvedic treatments that can be taken care, but what you call diagnosing it is little difficult. Thing is, people, they don't realize that it is an abscess. Sometimes they misinterpret it as the swollen breast because of the more of what you call milk retention. So they usually misinterpret that is a breast abscess. Has a lot of medicines. We can have enough of options from Ayurvedic medicines. Any Ayurvedic medicine to increase milk supply? Galactogogues, there are enough of Ayurvedic medicine which are produced, which is in the market, made out of all these galactogogues. So as I've said, drumstick leaves, drumstick as such, then amaranth leaves are there, then we have till is there. All these, gingerly can be used, sesame can be used. All these are used and made Ayurvedic medicine. There are enough Ayurvedic medicines as galactogogues. Is that all? So if you have more queries, you can always approach ayufy. There is a website also. You can approach through ayufy. You will get all the needed prescriptions. I'll be available.
Thank you all for your active participation in our discussion session. It was a wonderful session, ma'am. And we will provide you a profile link in our group. Okay, so I think we can wind up the session. Okay, thank you so much, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you all, and good night.